What's going on, everybody? Thursday night football, week 16. Devontae Adams officially ruled out in this one. So, unfortunately, we're not going to have any Tay Adams. I mean, that was the expected result with Tay popping up on the injury report the other day. But official, no Devontae Adams tonight for LA. And that's a tough one. No Tay. We were anticipating that. Jake and I were talking about it. But hopefully, they'll give us the ability to find some value on some other players. So, let me just get a second here to get a tweet out. And let's get after it, boys. Let's we have a bunch of boosts. We have the jackpot lottery on FanDuel tonight. And also we have the DK. We have the we have an option again. This time I waited to choose it. I haven't chosen which boost we're going to use yet. We can decide that together. I don't know if you guys have chosen which ones you want to use yet, but I haven't. We can figure out which one we want to use together and we can go from there. So let's dive right in. So one more second here, quick promo, and we're going to get started. I have nothing bet on this game at all just yet. So we're going to be finding everything that we find together right now. And let's see what we can get for this Rams-Seahawks game. Obviously, a massive game for the NFC West, as well as the NFC, number one seed right here. And look at the market. I mean, we can take a look at how this line has moved here. But like on the money line, we've had Rams open back 4 days ago as favorites. Got as high as minus 132. And now as time has been passing and getting closer and closer to game time here, Rams are at plus 105. Seahawks decisive favorites, minus 125. The weather in this game, I've been seeing so many different reports. I've been seeing that it's supposed to be horrible. I've been seeing that it's not that bad. I've been seeing everything in between vacillating literally hourly. So whether or not the weather is horrible, I think if you're in Seattle in the area, let me know what you guys have seen from the weather and the wind here. But right now, let's see what PTO has. PTO does have some weather input on their site because PTO is everything. What don't they have at this point? And they do have some weather updates as well. So maybe we'll see if we get some weather. But let's just start with the positive EV screen. See if there's any props we can just lock in right away and kind of move on and just lock them in. Now we're going to stick to tonight. And I haven't decided what I'm streaming for the weekend with the games on Saturday. Might do it tomorrow. Might do it Sunday. Definitely doing it Sunday. I might do it Saturday. TBD here. But let's see what we got here. So Mumfield, under 1.5 receptions here at Hard Rock, Illinois. For my Illinois bettors, let's take a look at the market width here. Minus 105. This looks pretty good. If you're a Hard Rock better, I would definitely bet this. Unfortunately, not in my state. But looking at Bookmaker, Penny, Novig, FanDuel as well, that this reception prop, minus 105, best in market here for Mumfield's under. Even with no Devontae Adams, still seeing some EV. Puka under 7.5 catches, plus 115 at MGM. This just dropped to 110 as we're speaking. So let's replay this and go back to that because the EV is definitely going to drop, at least because it went down to 110. But are we fading some Puka today? It's already under 4%, but this is another one right here. Sam Darnold under pass attempts, 30.5. Even money. Not seeing the weather icon pop up. We can dive in deeper into PTO to find it, but this also just moved to 110. So, all right, we're seeing things move in real time here. Let's get the play button going. It's a little bit annoying when we're doing content, but this is already no longer available. But okay, we're seeing some market moves right now with that news just coming in 5 minutes ago of Tay officially being out. Ferguson under, a Barner under 3.5 receptions, plus 105. He's been seeing a lot bigger target share of late, but this honestly looks good to market. And with the Darnold under attempts just showing, I think this is a good spot. 3.7%, 110 at FanDuel, 113 at Novig, 107 Kalshi, 112 Bookmaker, 110 Penny. I'm betting this. This is going to be the first bet that I've locked in for today. This is 3.7% EV. Obviously, we're not going to find anything too massive, barring a big change here. And I'm getting in this quickly. I'm on my other computer here, locking this one in just so I can get in. We're looking at receptions, Barner, who has seen a bigger target share of late. I was actually looking at some numbers yesterday just to take a look, and I was surprised at how much of a target share Barner was actually getting. But that being said, though, we're riding with the EV here under 3.5 plus 105. So let's lock it in. Beautiful. All right, let me switch the screens here. All right, so this is good. Let's go back and see what we're missing here. I want to look at Darnold and see what that moved to. Not showing up anymore. Then that Puka. All right, so we'll have to look at Nakua. This is down to 2.5% at plus 110 here for the under receptions on Nakua. Okay, I mean, this is still 2.5% EV. So it definitely is still good to market. I mean, 5K limits at Penny at 102, minus 110 at Circa, 101 at Kalshi. So, but not a ton of liquidity. So like Circa and Penny are willing to take bigger bets than there is liquidity here at Kalshi. We can look at the money right now on the contracts. I mean, honestly, this is like good. Like the Seahawks defense we know is good. Like with that being said, we know they're going to funnel to Puka because one Tay's out, two, they funnel to Puka regardless. Um 2.5% EV, like again, not a ton of EV right there, but with that being said, that still is good. Let me do a quick check here on my other screen. Hold on here. Okay, so this this is probably bettable, honestly. Like I think this is worth locking in at this point. So I'm going to lock this in as well. Yes, it's a lower end EV. I'm not expecting to see a ton of EV at this point again, but this is hanging out. This has some expected value. So I'm actually betting this Puka under. It's going to be a little bit sweaty as always because we're betting on a star under. And again, the Devontae Adams news is out there, but right now we're going with two unders to kick off the slate here. Lower on the EV side, but that is all good. Just locked it in. Go with a Puka under. Always again going to be scary and sweaty, but it is all good. Now let's see what else we find here. Seahawks. So Mumfield again. If you're at if you have Hard Rock, that's definitely bettable. So is this as well. 4%. 365 Ferguson under receiving yards, 21.5. Good to know they can profit. I don't know what the rest of the market is on that though. The Barner we locked in, the Puka we locked in, Parkinson over 40 plus, and I'm happy to see that this is EV because I'm definitely interested in some Parkinson, and we can take a look at some touchdown odds for him. Now we're getting to like the 1% slow EV there, so two bets from the first run through. We'll definitely do another one, but let's go and take a look at the game from more of a holistic perspective here and see what we find. Diving in individually. Where's my phone at? So we can lock in some stuff on FanDuel. Have the jackpot also, of course, going to be betting straight first touchdowns as well. But we have the jackpot on FanDuel. That's the first or last touchdown for bonus bets. So let's just look at some touchdowns first and let's see what we got. I'm going to actually first look at Parkinson. He has been dominating red zone target share, even with what we've been seeing from Devontae Adams in the red zone as well for the Rams, but like it has been a little bit off kilter the last couple of weeks. I haven't seen Tay dominating as much. Now this is first touchdown. Let's go to anytime. Circa at 210, FanDuel at 210 also. Profit at 225, Novi 226. So that's good to know. 2-2 doesn't really get a ton of playing time, though. Of course, we got no Tay. What's Corum at? Corum's been running hard, but he's 310 at Circa. So that's best price there. Mumfield, let's take a look at Mumfield. Nothing at Circa though, but 6-1 here at FanDuel. He's got some targets now. Also a guy that I think that with Puka, with Tay being out, could definitely see an uptick in some targets as well. Though we know that this is a big funnel team, the Rams. Kyron at the anytime, 120 at Circa, 130 at FanDuel. Puka negative correlation parlay, U 7.5 over 149.5, over 1.5 tutties. Out of respect, let me just price that. Like, let's just see what we're getting out of FanDuel. Don't know what that would look like, but B-Rad, that is a bomb and a half that if you do end up playing, I'm all for it. But honestly, like let's get a line. Not biased at all. I know my boy B-Rad's got a fantasy matchup and is trying to get some love for Nakua. Of course, the EV on the under there at MGM. So, we ride with that. But I'm so curious. Let's build that. Let's just see what that looks like. Though I'm definitely not pulling trigger on a crazy reverse core like that. And I doubt it'd be priced properly. But what is 2+ touchdowns for Nakua? 10-1 receiving prop as high as 150. I mean, with Puka, obviously that's in his repertoire. 155.60, but then under receptions for Puka Nakua. This is just for science at this point. I'm just so curious what they would even price that at. Wow. That is a nuke and a half. But getting back to it, so Nakua touchdown. I mean, Circa with 135. Novig actually best price here, 141. But we definitely should probably expect Nakua to take up some of that slack with, of course, Tay. I actually just dropped to 120. hold our horses because now that's at 120 and the 135 at FanDuel's hanging out. That's actually going to look like a good bet. The 141 at Novig is good liquidity. That's actually good. Put your hands together and pray parlay. Yeah, that's a lottery ticket. If ever see a lottery ticket, that's all vibes, all fun. Probably worse ways to spend $3 or $5 here and there, but that's a funny one. But this just moving at Circa has got me interested. I mean, if you have Novig, we got 354 liquidity. I'd actually bet this straight. Now, yes, we just bet is under, but these are just two different bets with still good expected value. This 141 at Novig is nice. This 131 at FanDuel now. So we have I claimed a reward. They gave me this like I don't even know what it was. It was like a profit boost. Basically, it was like a random profit boost. I have a live boost as well, but I'm actually gonna put Puka, even though the total's low, in this lay right now at touchdown score on FanDuel at plus 135, and this just went back up to 125. So worth noting. But another player that I'm interested in as well, we saw him pop up. We'll go to the rec yards market, is definitely Colby Parkinson. Now, his touchdown is a little bit more intriguing because he has been. We have the jackpot. Yes, I knew that. We have the jackpot, but what's Parkinson at here for receiving yards? And we'll look at some Seahawks, of course. They are the favorites at this point, so definitely expecting some Seattle to put some points on the board there. Parkinson, though, is at that 40 number, best at bet 105 minus 106. So I'm not going to see any like street value from that, as this is just straight up the same in all markets. So let's go back to Tutties and look at some Seahawks here. JSN assuming going to be the chalk of the chalk for Seattle, whereas Smith and Jigba, absolute dog. He's 130 at Circa, 125 at FanDuel. So still be getting some EV if we do use a boost. Where else? Actually, let's just go here and look at it this way. So we can scroll through everything at one time. I like going player by player, just kind of like guessing the odds, having some fun with it when we have like more time on like a Sunday stream and we're just kind of like diving in and dabbling. But for the time crunch, better off looking at whole market. Barner, 250 FanDuel, 262 here at Novig, not a ton of liquidity. 252 at Kalshi. Corum that 310. Parkinson 210, also 210 at FanDuel. Davis Allen 7-1, nothing at Circa though. Of course, backup tight end probably sees like 1.5 targets a game. JSN 130, best price Circa. Kenny Walker 2-1, best price Circa and Novig. Kyron, best price Novig 133. Let's see, Puka, the 135 still hanging out there. That's like looking better and better. And obviously pretty shallow here with like the players. We know it's a funnel for Seattle and also for LAR. There are two teams that just love their guys and feed them. But Sharp 180, 165 at DK 175. So let's go to some first tutties. Okay, Barner 1250. So with the DK boost, I haven't decided again yet if we're going to do a parlay with it or a straight bet. Now I'm kind of down to do what we did Monday. It didn't cut to the window for us, but like I liked boosting a first touchdown there. And Jono did end up scoring, just not the first one. But I haven't opted into this yet. Either way, I have a $5 max bet. I'm going to go with the 20% straight bet boost. I claimed it. So we're rocking with it. And also, I see this 30% boost for first quarter reception props. I don't know if everybody has that, but I randomly got that. I've never bet a first quarter reception prop in my life. So we'll definitely find some EV for that as well. But let's do a quick first tutty scan. And we can definitely use a boost to find some EV. But Cooper Kupp, so I'm seeing some love, obviously, the revenge game angle, getting back there. 7-1 at FanDuel for JSN. Walker, best price Circa. Kyron, best price Circa. Velus Jones, not even returning kicks. Okay, so we're not seeing any of our normal, what we love to do, which is to like find DraftKings, MGM, Caesars, prices that are just off from FanDuel. So we're not seeing anything like that right now. Parkinson, this just went up. That was 12-1. We looked at it, right? No, I guess 13. That being said, that still would be good if we did use the boost there. But a boost on a guy like Corum is interesting. Also a boost on a guy like JSN, because we'll definitely be at a pretty good price, or even Walker, like a starting RB. And I know the Rams defense is good, but I do think that they're a bit overrated, honestly. I don't think that they're like impenetrable by any means. So Let's dive into this first quarter reception market because we could pretty easily find something worth betting. Now I know DK, as they always do, is probably juicing some prices, so we can't find anything there. But I think we can find something. This is a let me just read the details quickly. Any 30% boost on first quarter receiving props could be on any first quarter receiving prop minimum odds minus 200. So I mean, it could be rec yards, it could be receptions. Let's start with receiving yards first quarter and just see what we got here. First quarter. Actually, let's go back to this view. It'll be easier to look through all the markets here. And we're sticking for DraftKings only here just because that'd be the boost. But of course, we're trying to find whatever bet has like the most value. I don't know if we could do quarter here though. It doesn't look like we can. Just first half or game. So we're gonna have to go back in and look at the guys we want to look at, which again, pretty easy short list for these two games of where the targets are coming from. So start with receiving yards, first quarter. And let's go through the line here. So we could definitely bet an under here. Let's see what the odds are. I mean, 2-2's only got an alternate over. Parkinson over 4.5. DK under is minus 112, but we'll be boosting. That would actually be good. That's just hoping that Parkinson would not get involved early. It's Kyron first quarter receiving prop. Half a yard, minus 184. Crazy. 6.28% hold percentage on that market. So worth noting, but not ideal. JSN first quarter kind of had a slower first quarter. I mean, this is the best price in market, 15.5, and we'd be boosting it. And the line is even better than FanDuel's. Like, I think we're going a bit of a chalk fade here in this one. Low total, obviously still the stars, but I have a $5 max bet on this, so not expecting a ton. Let me just pull up this market here. I'll pull it up on my phone because I got to bet it on my phone, but I have to freaking find it as well. I could send myself this link, but let's see what we got. Yeah. Puka under first quarter receiving yards. I'm looking at TK here. It's going to be easy to find. Yep. Receiving yards. First Q over under. JSN 15.5 with the boost plus 115. So that's actually like a really good price. We'll take a quick look at everybody else here. Shaheed first quarter. I mean, minus 133 for half a yard, but that's the difference between like Jason can get a catch in the first and not go over. His 8.'s only like 11, though we know that he's probably going to get a few first quarter targets, but hopefully anticipating a bigger ground game in this first half with these teams. What's Cup? 121. Also, I mean, can we parlay this? Let's just say Terrence Ferguson first TD. I'll definitely pull it up in a second, brother. Give me 1 second because I want to lock in this first quarter bet here, but we're seeing a couple. Let me just see if you can parlay it. You can. Okay. JSN under, Cup under. Where's Cooper Cup? Oh, that's under a half a receiving yard. Okay, hold on. That's a little bit different. I don't know why I thought that might have been a bit higher. Again, never bet this market. I'm sure there is like I can maybe pull up some stats to supplement here, but we are definitely looking at some lines that are hopefully like again, we are trying to find some EV here. So we could go double star under with Jackson Smith and Jigba and Puka. I mean, this is still best price in market. It's a yard over the FanDuel, and it'll be EV. And I'm absolutely down to parlay these. Should we just go full hater? If we go Puka and JSN under, that's 2. And we can find a third leg. I mean, someone's going to have to catch the football. What's Kenny Walker at? Minus 197. So this is actually good for the boost for half a yard. And the odds just moved on this. What happened here? Straights. I can't even tell what moved. And I mean, what's Shaheed again? Did we look at Shaheed? Yeah, he's half a receiving yard, so that's not as great. I think I might just go to JSN Puka. That gives us the 341, $5 max bet, so nothing too crazy here. Also, never dabbled in this market, but a kind of a fade of the big dogs. Is that something that's fun? What's Sharb? Not even priced for Sharb. And Shaheed we saw was half. We know Cooper Cup was a half. Mumfield, we get anything for Mumfield? FanDuel. I'm going with the JSN Puka under. I mean, again, I know there's no Tay. We're going straight market here. Both of these prices on DraftKings were the best price in the market, as in like in terms of yardage, as well as in terms of VIG And we're getting a boost on that. So plus 341. We're in. I'm in at least. Going under on 2 stars. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Let's look at Terrence Ferguson first tutty. Game Ferguson first touchdown. Oh God, yeah. This is exactly what I like to bet on from a price perspective. 16-1 at Circa. Let's see how this has moved. Was that high? Now we're seeing a 25-1 at DK. Puddin, shout out to you, brother. Shout out for the call because this is just how I like to bet the first tutties, and we've had great success with first tutties. So just to like elaborate a bit, so I trust as my sources of truth around first touchdowns really Circa, Kalshi, Novig, and I do like FanDuel and of course Profit X. Now, as we can see, Circa's at 16-1, Kalshi 22, Novig 19, Profit's at 24, so it's not that high. But then you have this 25-1 hanging out of DK, where that's the best price in the market is actually at Ladbrokes, though I don't have that. But based on the rest of the market of the books that I like have a bit more respect for of their odds making, I am trying to find prices where players now again a Ferguson who is also going to get some love with no Tay. So I just bet it. The odds at DK are just substantially better at the other places. Now, of course, every time you bet, you want to try to find the best odds no matter what. But you also want to find the best odds, like compared to other books that you have deemed to be the sharper sports books where you kind of use their pricing as a source of truth. So Terrence Ferguson is our Ram, just like that. Now we can find a Seahawk for a first tutty, and we'll definitely utilize the jackpot there. So shout out to Puddin for that call out. Appreciate that because that is exactly what I'm looking for. And Circa being at 16-1, I mean, that's a really big difference. We saw it with Janu on Monday. Obviously didn't hit, but still ended up scoring. And I'm not expecting to hit 25-1s that frequently. With that being said, that has been our bread and butter for finding first touchdowns. And Mumpfield also now is absolutely fitting a very similar bill. I want to see how this has moved. Not giving me price history. What's going on? Not seeing the history. Oh, 1 second here. Let's go to this view and see if we're going to get the history here. So I am curious. Not showing up. Okay. Okay. So let's go back and take a look and see, because we have our Ram now. We're looking for a Seahawk here. And again, don't need to bet first touchdowns for both teams in every game. I do not bet on every game. But on primetime games, yeah, I'm betting a first tutty on everyone. Kenny Walker with the boost is like so interesting to me because we're gonna get a starting RB at plus 950, but the problem is like, is he the starting RB is like debatable how they ship with Sharp. With that being said, though, the same kind of logic applies where Sharp would still be at a 10-1 price. So let's just do a quick FTN look here and let's look at what the end zone rush attempts have really been like. I wouldn't be shocked if I pull this up right now. This is full season just for start. Are we seeing 50-50? We're seeing Sharp with more red zone, more goal line work overall, and also just a higher EPA per attempt, EPA on the ground in general. Same DVOA though there. And quickly check receiving. I know that what's his name? Walker sees a bit more targets. Yeah, he sees a lot, 27 to Sharp's 14. So a lot more targets, though. Not a heavy team that throws to running backs. I'm going full season here just because I don't think that there's like a trend in one direction. Well, we can look at the last couple of weeks and see what it's like, but I do want to take a holistic view. Walker with just one end zone target all year, Sharp not getting any. And let's go back to rushing. Let's just see if there's been like a trend in the sense where like maybe they started to favor somebody more, but like full season is a straight down the middle split. But Sharp last week, both goal line carries. The week before, come on, FTN. The week before, Sharp one goal line carry, but they split red zone carries. Okay, but when it came to the red zone to the goal line, it was in Sharp's hands. Week 13 is 14 and 15 here. Let's go load for me, brother. We had Sharp at this point with 7, Walker with 4. So Sharp, I guess it's him running away with the red zone carries here. But then now it's like it's as close as it gets down the middle here. So it is like a bit of a pick your poison. You're going to be making a good bet with in terms of expected value, but like who is going to be that running back? I obviously not the road. I personally defer to Walker. Honestly, I think Walker's good, and I don't understand why Walker is kind of in this like backfield marriage that's going on here. I know Walker sometimes like bounces some stuff outside when he shouldn't be and does some things like that. Um, the hell is going on with this Jordan Whittington as well? 8 to 1 here, or 80 to 1, 35 to 1, but 100 to 1 um at Profit X there. So that's not looking good. I'm not belaboring. I'm going Walker. If it ends up being Sharp, like I was wrong the other week on the I forgot which team it was, but it was a team that like splits backfield carries. And it was when Omarion Hampton was ruled back in that Chargers game. And I was going with Vidal because I was like, this price is just too big for somebody who is like, still in the mix. He had that massive catch, run up for the catch, gets to the red zone, but then it's Hampton, Hampton, Hampton. Score that first. I'm going with Walker, 20% boost to plus 1140. So that's a really good price. So Walker is our Seahawk. We have Ferguson for the Rams, and we have Kenny Walker for the Seattle Seahawks. And now let's check the EV screen, see how things are moving, because there definitely is still a bunch of movement based on even these first touchdown odds moving that I expect to see some stuff going on. But we have essentially a running back one at 1140 price in a game where they are favored. So I'm all for that Walker. But let's go to the EV screen. I've not bet a side. I've not bet a total either. 30 minutes before game time. That's not going to change probably. But that being said, I've been going back and forth on who I think is winning. I kind of feel like the Rams, because we're getting the Rams at like plus money now. And like to me, like that might be a little bit attractive. This Mumfield has moved also. I mean, this is at Hard Rock only, so didn't pay it too much mind, but it did look good. Mumfield again under. Apuka alt over here at Novig at 93.5 plus 112. FanDuel's at minus 112, so not a bad look there at Novig. This Puka under we're in on. See if the market has moved here. Not really. Good limits or good good limits at Circa and Penny. Decent liquidity at Kalshi and Novig, so we're on that Puka fade. Donald rush yards under, Ferguson rec yards under, but we just need him to score a touchdown. So not too concerned with that. And let me confirm what boost we got. So I just used the DraftKings boost on that Walker, but we also have I also have a 30%. What did I do? Oh, that was my chosen boost. Never mind. On DK, used the boost that we chose, which was the 20% boost. Used the first quarter prop boost. Okay, so we're tapped out of boost there on DK. And let's check FanDuel, because they gave me like 4 different cards. They're like, pick one at random. We'll give you a profit boost. But I clicked one. I think I got a 20% boost, but I don't know what I ended up with. Reward claim, see rewards. Okay. Jackpot, we know. 25% profit boost, any event, 3-leg parlay. So could get a little crazy and add some association into this lay if we want to. That wouldn't be crazy at all. Actually, would probably like help boost our expected value. I mean, we could see if we find a quick NBA prop that has some value to throw it in. Have a little multi-sport sweat. Little Bam double action here, plus 115. I mean, this Kalshi is off. Not actually going to scroll through all the NBA props for tonight here, but can't be neglected the association. And, money's green, doesn't matter what sport you bet it on. And for this parlay, it could be good, and definitely be a start in streaming. It's a lot more NBA content. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, hit that like button and also subscribe, because if you're loving the NFL content, the NBA content is right around the corner. Going to be starting it up soon with PTO as well. So filters we use for NFL, of course, created NBA versions for that. I also have a video on YouTube breaking down my NBA prop filters on PTO, which has been a good season with lower volume as of late, just because I had got horny for the NBA to start, was betting it, cooled off, was betting it, and then in the cup season, I was kind of laying low. And then, you guys know how it goes with gambling. Sometimes you have the itch where you're like, yep, let's get after it. And then other times you're like, especially if you don't love watching the sport. Like for me, I don't love watching the NBA at all. I actually don't like it. I'm not dying to, but we're definitely seeing some Rams money. Some Seahawks money as this went to plus 120. Now Circa best price on market, that was plus 105. As we were streaming, this just moved literally 10 to 15 seconds ago. We caught that move in real time. And that was at plus 105 when we started off here. Ton of liquidity here on Kalshi for this one. I mean, 5 million, over 10 million contracts on just the over, and another 1 million contracts here on the under at Kalshi. So, oh, just like that, bought right back down. So we're watching the market in real time. I mean, that's some legitimate resistance. A 10-cent move in real time like that. Now, no big best price, but that's only a $44 liquidity. Give me C money line, B-Rad. I take it. Take it. I have no beefs with that. No qualms if that's the side that you ended on here. I'm a gun to head Rams, not an actual putting money on the Rams to win, and I'll be not shocked at all if the Rams do not pull off this W. Let's go back to anytime touchdown, use the jackpot. So definitely for this, it's a first or last. So I want to find a guy who's like not that chalky. So we can probably rule out Walker. We could rule out Sharp. We could rule out Puka. We could rule out JSN. Obviously, no Tay by default ruled out here. But again, I am still interested in Parkinson because his red zone usage has been high, like very high. Let's even just like put some numbers behind that. This is just the last couple of weeks here. We'll get the Rams going. Jason Myers field goal ladder. I mean, I'll check out that market in a second here. Who's the Rams kicker again these days? It's not that Cardi kid anymore. I think they caught him a while back. Haven't been in the weeds on the kicking here. Are they LA or LAR? Because I always forget if it's LAC for the Chargers. I mean, obviously LA Rams would be LAR, but yeah, LAC is LA. Chargers, LA is the Rams. Now, this is rushing. Let's go to receiving. And targets. Parkinson now 16. So he is the guy behind it. The thicker Mevis. Yes, the thicker kicker. He is the guy. But look at this. End zone targets the last couple of weeks here. Tay, Puka, but Parkinson is 4 there. That's only 4 games. Let's go back a little bit more. Let's get a little bit more context here. Tay, I mean, we know that Tay was the guy. We know that Puka has not been the end zone king there, but obviously Puka can score from anywhere. Puka's freaking dog. Phone charger plugged in. And then again, it is still Parkinson at 4, so it's not been a ton here. All in all, and let's just go full season quickly and see what it's looked like. Obviously, we know Tay is the leader, but Tay is not playing. But end zone targets, I mean, 30 end zone targets. Parkinson 5, Ferguson 5. That's why I love that first touchdown. Shout out to you, Puddin, if you're still here for that. But let's I want to check off like who is like it's gotta be Tay at 1 for end zone targets. Like no teams, no filters there. This is all NFL here, all qualified receivers. Yeah, it's gotta be Tay. 30 freaking end zone targets. And Trey McBride, 19. Trey McBride, also dog. But for you, Ben, I got you on the let's look at what the Myers field goals made is looking like here. See what the ladder is looking like. So 3.5 plus 433 at DK. 434, excuse me. I mean, if that's where you want to go with it, man. That's where you're going to go with it. I got you. And then we have Mevis, the thick kicker. Him for 4 kicks, 720. McVay's definitely a guy who is a field goal guy. I mean, 12 points from the leg of the kicker, not even looking at potential extra points, though. Of course, if you're betting a field goal ladder, you're not expecting there to be a lot of touchdowns scored, but kicking points for Myers, you can also look at it as well. 7.5 is minus 150, so that's 3 field goals, 2 field goals, 2 extra points. Like, I think you're better off going with the alternate field goal market if you're interested in actually laddering up a Myers there. Reminder. So we have a 3-leg 24% boost at FanDuel. Okay. Go back to anytime Toddy because I do want to use the let's go back to the screen here because I obviously want to use the jackpot. We've hit 2 jackpots this season. Has been sick. Probably them both Boolin. Yeah, you can go there. And again, this that circa, that Rams money got snatched up right away. That's Seattle money, excuse me. That Rams money line just hit a drop. What am I doing? Clicking the wrong buttons. Player prop, anytime touchdown. All right, Barner, 245 at DK, 250 at FanDuel's not too shabby. Parkinson again, this 210 at FanDuel. I'm definitely leaning Parkinson. That 226 at Novik is a little bit intriguing. Cup, I'm out on Cup, man. Also think he's probably going to be a little bit of a chalky like pick for the day. JSN is of course going to be a big pick, trying to optimize a bit for some game strategy to try to find a bonus pool that will be lucrative as well as I guess possible. But that being said, because we have Ferguson as the actual first, we could double down at 550. I don't think there's probably many people betting Fergie. We have his first tutty at a great price. Um, I don't know, Chad. What do you guys think? We could go for the splitter-Rooney of splitting up Ferguson and Parkinson, having a little bit more coverage. Obviously, both can lose, or we can have a Fergie first touchdown and the jackpot. So if he hits that first tutty, that makes this a stream to remember and a Thursday night to remember with only so many left in the regular season here. I'm just want to check one more time. I know what odds we got it at, but I want to see if anything moved. No, 25-1 though, still 16 one at Circa, and we saw that drop big time. And who was the other one that I wanted to look at dropping? It's always been 950. There was one more player I was interested in, forgetting at the moment. This one of the 750 at Circa. Oh, Mumfield. So Mumfield was 18-1 and 19-1, but now again, seeing 27-1 at FanDuel. I mean, not that I'm trying to spray the board here with first tutties. Go for gold. Gold, I'm assuming, would be the Fergie double up. And let's go back to FTN. I'll switch our screen in a second, but I'm already forgetting what the end zone target. So it's Tay X'd out. It's Ferguson. It's Parkinson. Usage. Routes run. It's Parkinson and Ferguson is just so low. Good value on Shaheed anytime compared to Penny. Did I miss that? I saw some Shaheed props earlier this week that were flashing on the EV screen. Didn't end up locking anything in, but I did see some love there. Where's Shaheed at? Let's see. Rashid Shaheed, 326, 360 at DK. Yeah, it is pretty good. I love having like a lot more like market width overall because I love when Circa also has a price like that. Bookmaker as well, Kalshi, and go from there. But beggars can't always be choosers in those scenarios. But definitely some good value there at DK at 360 because we got Novik at 359, 365 actually a profit to Penny. Decent liquidity. I'm clicking too many buttons here. Decent liquidity. What was I looking for? Select all first tutty. Ferguson. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So going for gold could be the Fergie anytime or the double up with the what's his name? The thing is like the odds for a Fergie anytime is obviously like double what it is for Parkinson. But Parkinson is running double the routes. It's plus 210. So it's still going to be like a pretty solid hit if it does get to the window there. Target percentage is just higher all in all. So AC, I don't know if you were late, but we bet the Fergie first touchdown, no boost at DK. And now for the boost, let me read out what we said. What we got. So we had where's my plays? Got them all written down for tracking. We used the boost on Walker because I opted into the 20% boost on DK, not the 30% profit boost for the lay, but for the straight bet, and used it on Walker to get to 1140. Ferguson straight plus 250. And now for the jackpot, I kind of want to go Parkinson. I maybe that's just soft of me, honestly, but like he does run so many more routes, and then Ferguson again. Just get some end zone love. I mean, it's more than double, but the routes that he runs are also like more than double. Routes for Parkinson, 42.9%. Routes for Ferguson, 23.1%. So is actually more than double or just under double, excuse me. But the odds are doubled up there. 580 also. It's not like we're getting like massive value to the market on either of these. Don't get me wrong, if any at all, realistically. But I'm going to go with Parkinson for the touchdown jackpot. He'll be on the field more, give us a chance for both first and last. Prize pick pool might be a little bit lower. Obviously, it will be lower than it would be for Fergie, but jackpot. I'm going Parkinson. Call me soft. If Fergie scores the first touchdown, then I'll be half happy because I'll be like, damn, I didn't double up on that. But with that being said, if Parky scores the first, then we're split home. But then when Kyron Williams just runs in the first, or we see some crazy, other option for the first touchdown, then maybe not be happy whatsoever there. But I went with Parkinson. It is what it is. But we got the FanDuel boost that we can utilize and wrap up here. And I do just want to go back to the market here and see if there's been any more movement. No, and let's look at the total one time. This was, I know, as high as 44.5. I know Jake locked that in early. Great play by him. Uh, Damn, down to 41.5. I mean, it's really more like 42.5. I'm assuming. Even in 42 straight. Yeah, 42 straight at Penny, at Circa, at Bookmaker. This under at 102 is actually pretty solid um at MGM. 101 at Profit is the best in the market, though, and there's almost 2K liquidity there. So that is the best. Let's do 42.5 and just see what the prices are. I mean, I'm not betting it, but if you are under guy, this is enough said right here. 42.5 at DK minus 105, best price in the market. So if you're looking for an under, there's your best look right there. Is at DraftKings right now if you could bet there. Minus 105, better than Penny, half point better than Circa, better than Bookmaker, better than Novig. It is, as you see, the best price in market there for an under. All right, let's find some props for this FanDuel boost, and let's see where we can find some EV. So we did see some decent value on that Shaheed touchdown. Let's see. Could also bet like a 2 touchdown, get a little bit crazy with it. The Kyron touchdown, haven't touched it. Haven't really gone any chalk. We've actually faded some chalk with that DraftKings boost, as well as with that, as well as with the straight bet we have on Naku under. But let's Kyron anytime straight. 135. I mean, that's best in market. I think Kyron is a good leg to start this thing off with. Kyron plus 135. Gotta get 3 legs here. Does not need to be all touchdowns. Can definitely mix it up, but always good to look at the touchdown market when you're curious and you're trying to have some fun with your Thursday night football, especially when time is dwindling here. That 10-1 also FanDuel for 2+ is the best. What's quorum? So maybe we get some little reverse correlation here if we do a little double dip on the 2 LAR backs. 290, 310 would be EV with the boost, but Circa there, best price. Actually, Sport Trade, best price. We already have some unders on reception straight. We could just add them to the boost and call it a day. Though, like we have the Puka under 7.5. Right now, FanDuel on that number is minus 102. We got plus 110 still there. So that hasn't moved. And the other one was Barner, who I know does get a pretty high target share. And I'll switch to FTN in a second to showcase that, because I was surprised to see how much Barner, I should say, has been getting some love, I guess, per se, in terms of the passing game. Like, absolutely some love is probably the right word. Like, highly targeted. Seattle. This is full season, so not the numbers I was looking at. I will filter to recently before targets a game. Okay, cool. But when we go like weeks 15, week 6, week 14, like routes run, route percentage, second highest routes run, and then now he's at 5 targets a game in just the last 2 weeks. 13. Make it a 3-week sample size. Still sitting at 5 targets, so 5 targets a game, and an 82% route run rate there. So Barner seeing some love there. But this one, what we bet at plus 105. Now it's not the minus 115 here. So we ended up getting a great number on that Barner under. So good by us. I'm gonna just make our lives easier, and I'm gonna add that to this lay here on FanDuel, and we'll find another one. So player receptions over under AJ Barner under 3.5 minus 110. That's plus 322. Now we saw some Mumfield's value as well. Let's look at his receptions one more time because maybe we could just parlay this and add that to that here. I mean, 134, probably not even going to get a good price at this point. It was Hard Rock, I think, that had the best price. The 105, though, this Bedano. Canada, okay. Little freeze on the market real quick. Bookmaker showing circa now. I mean, Caesar's now back. We haven't looked at any rush yards markets. Let's take a look at that. See what the rushing yards are looking like for both these teams that we know has a two-headed monster for the Seahawks, but the Rams, I mean, Corum sometimes comes in, plays great, and they let him rock. Other times it's just straight up KW, which we have him in this lay so far, so definitely hoping there's some KW. What's a Darnold rush yard here? FanDuel not even pricing Darnold. Shit. Interesting. Okay. Let me just confirm that, honestly. Oh, wow. We would have got some value on the YOLO play there. Would have got some value. Yeah. Oh, the FanDuel, no, it's minus 108. So there is a Darnold rush yard prop up. The rest of the market, I mean, that's pretty good. Why am I not seeing FanDuel here, though? I'm seeing it here. Oh, there we go. I'm just blind. That's 4 yards. Okay. That makes sense. 3.5. That's 4.5. Donald's not the move. User error there. Shaheed rush yard. I'm guessing that's a half. 1.5 even at MGM. Hoping Shaheed gets a rock. He can't even get tackle behind the line of scrimmage. He's gotta get you 2 yards there. Obviously, Shaheed rushing is possible. And with his speed, he's probably definitely getting more than 2 yards there. All right, KW. He is at 45.5 at FanDuel, but 47.5 at Circa, so that's really not ideal for KW and Sharp. Let's check out Sharp here. Service at 33.5, 35.5 minus 112. I think a Sharp rushing under here is the play, just from a pricing across the market perspective. Zach Charbonnet rushing yards under 35.5. With the boost, it's 845. Doesn't get us to the 10-1 that I love. But with that being said, it's actually pretty solid. That's actually is pretty solid. I mean, we can add something else. I don't know what else to add though at this point. Like without it being like a straight force. Check the EV screen and see if anything pops up at FanDuel specifically, or maybe for another adjacent book that we know it's like not that far off and we can just like get EV through the boost. But let's look for one more leg. Otherwise, I'm definitely cool with locking it in at 845. And also we can add an NBA prop. Who's the biggest NBA money line bet for tonight that we could lock in? Monthly receiving yards under. I mean, Tutu's probably going to get some burn. I know they like this kid. The 112, I mean, yeah, with the boost, it'll be solid. Puka over. Shaheed under receiving yards. Puka under receptions. D-Vig, I mean, what is it at FanDuel, though? Minus 102. I mean, at this point, because we have it straight, I feel like that is – I'm down to add that because we have our 2 straight bets and a bit of a double down, as well as now a Kyron touchdown, and now our Charbonnet under. So I'm locking it in at plus 1820. So FanDuel boost. And I don't know, again, because they gave me like 4 cards to pick from. I clicked on one card. I don't know if it was actually random or there's different boosts circulating, or if they're just giving out the same boost as well. Mine just happened to be a 20% parlay boost, 3-legger. I went 4. Puka under receptions, Sharp under rush yards, Barner under receptions, Kyron anytime touchdown. So that's what I locked in. So let me read through quickly what we have locked in so far. Then we'll just see if there's anything else worth betting here. Maybe we'll put together one more fun one. But we have, using the FanDuel boost, again, one more time. Kyron anytime, Barner under receptions, Puka under receptions, Sharp under rush yards. Touchdown jackpot entry. So on FanDuel, if you score the first or the last, you get into $1 million bonus bet pool. Colby Parkinson. First touchdown using the DraftKings boost. I went with the 20% boost, not the parlay boost. Kenny Walker. Terrence Ferguson, first touchdown, straight plus 2,500. Using the DK boost for the first quarter receiving yards, I went star fade. I went under JSN, under Puka. And then I have Puka under reception straight, minus plus 110, and AJ Barter under reception straight, plus 115. Sprinkle Davis Allen, brother, I need more context. Anytime, first touchdown, 3 touchdowns. What are we going with? Because I'll sprinkle some Davis if that's what the boys are doing. I'll get involved in something that is probably going to absolutely be plus money. If you got to give me some market specifics there, where are we sprinkling? Last touchdown sprinkle? Get even more creative. Let's get some Davis Allen pulled up here. Price across market expected. ATD. Okay, there we go. Let's check it out. 750 at DK and FanDuel, 670 and 681, 685. So not having Penny and Circa to bounce that off of is just like a bit annoying, but a little Davis Allen sprinkle. Honestly intriguing. Honestly, very intriguing for Davis Allen. Anytime tutty. And who did I want to look at? What's Tutu looking like right now? Excuse me. 11-1. This is first. 23-1, 35-1. That's interesting to me also. Should we just do a Davis Allen anytime 2-2 first? First touchdown, 35-1. That anytime at FanDuel, that was actually like pretty good. Do we do a sprinkle of Davis and Tutu? I mean, 11-1. Rest of the market being where it's at. Profit 880, 840, 817. No Vig Kalshi. I would definitely argue that this Tutu is kind of worth it. And I'm going to sprinkle some Tutu. At 11-1. We're going again. Game has a very low total. No Tay. Repeating myself for the 20th time. Everybody knows that. But with that being said, in a game with low total and we're getting a guy, I mean, Tutu is like, when we switch over to FTN quickly, we're going to be like looking at Tutu's target share and being like, what? Because he doesn't really run a ton of, I can't even speak, run a ton of routes or command a target share by any means. I mean, routes run. He's only played one game in this last 3. Let me do a quick Google. Was he banged up? Like he must have been. He only played 2 games, but his last game was the 14th. That was last week against the Lions. 1 catch, 9 yards. Before that, so he was hurt. Okay. So only ran 5 routes in that. So let's even take some of this off here and just look at week 15. Only ran 5 routes. I guess that means that now that he's healthier, we can expect hopefully him to run, more than 5 routes. 2 targets, 1 catch. Over Whittington, who actually ran only 10% of routes, 4 routes. Corum got some routes in. Mumfield is getting some love there. A lot more routes run for Mumfield. Wow. Obviously, Tay 62 is getting replaced. Our boys at the top of the ledger here we love. Davis Allen, actually 55% of routes as well. So I actually like both. I mean, I'm going to sprinkle on Allen as well. Shout out to you putting for that call out because I think that's actually like very good, especially with like the routes run from last week. So let me get in on some Davis Allen anytime plus 750. Locked and loaded. FanDuel, DraftKings, pick your poison there. And then there's definitely EV. It's annoying because there definitely is EV, probably like closer to like 1%. So we're not talking about like a ton of EV there. But with that being said, there is definitely some love for Tutu. But like Allen, anytime. I think I'm sprinkling both. I mean, it's just honestly at this point because it's week 16, football's ending, especially like the Christmas games are kind of dog. Even this Saturday's games, that Packers game should be good. Check out 2-2 for 50 plus. Absolutely. That's actually probably even a better look. Let's dive in. But I locked in that Davis Allen, and I can definitely be convince myself very easily, as you guys can probably tell, to lock in some 2-2 anytime. But 50 plus might even be a better look. Let's see here. Are we even getting prices? We are. FanDuel, DK 45, 50 plus here. So over 49.5, 710 at DK, 9-1, 365 for 365 users. And seeing at Betway in Canada at 10-1 for 50 plus for 2-2 Atwell. I think I'd rather bet the 11-1 on a touchdown. Obviously, like it's different. I mean, this got hit, opened at plus 920. Now that just dropped 20 minutes ago to the 710. So we definitely did miss out on some alternate line value for that 2-2, 50 plus receiving yard. I mean, if you want to go full degen, which I doubt we do because the price is going to be horrible, but just for the science, I am curious on what the odds are going to be for, and I'm about to click already. I mean, it's only 950 here when it's 11-1 at FanDuel. Just if you do want to see what the craziness looks like here. I mean, I feel like that should be so much better in terms of like the odds. So absolutely not betting that. But let's even see what it looks like on FanDuel. Though I don't know if we have that many alts for Mr. 2-2 Atwell, if any alts for Atwell. No, I don't see any. They're scared of us putting. But the TD scorer again, 11-1, 2-2 is interesting. But are you giving us a base receiving prop line for 2-2? Let's see. They are not. I mean, only 2 routes run. FanDuel's not even allowing you to bet on 2-2 today. Again, back to routes run for just last week. Parkinson 75%, Terrence Ferguson 70, Puka 67.5. We know he got banged up, but he put up 9 for 181 because Puka is a freaking dog. Tay out. Davis Allen 55% of the routes, Kyron 52, Mumpfield 47.5, Corum 47.5, 2-2 12.5, Whittington just 10%. So at this point, they should be. Hell yeah, they should be. They know what's going on here when we're locked and loaded. While we're here, I do just want to check out the most receiving yard markets. I always do find these interesting. Puka the chalk, JSN second. I mean, 135 is obviously not a great price for everything you need to be to have go right for this kind of bet to hit, but that is definitely interesting. Shaheed, no, I mean, this is chalk city. And let's go to rushing props here. Kyron 130, Sharp at 430, Corn 490. It's a bit interesting because if it does get to a game where it's a bruiser situation, we've seen Corum have some big games. Let's just see if there's anything from the on where is it? Game leaders on DK. Just see because always look at the price discrepancy here. Most rushing yards, yeah, Corum's 390 here. So FanDuel best price. Puka the 115 here compared to minus 105 at FanDuel. Always worth noting at least. And yeah, we're not even getting the 2-2 most receiving yards, not even given that offered. So as it stands at this point, the 710 for 50 plus versus a touchdown, obviously very different things there. And just because we missed the number, that to me is just it's just so annoying knowing that literally 30 minutes ago we could have gotten plus 830 on something. Same thing with a game line I was talking about. The number just gets gone. It's you could chase that and be oh, this is clearly the right side. Look at how it moved. But obviously you want to be buying at the high and not selling at the low, which is what this kind of would be. And back to Tutties for 2-2. 11-1 is also just clearly has some value, but has actually shot up the other way. So we'd be buying the top and hoping that not missing out. And then we have the Davis Allen. So I don't know if we need to add some 2-2 to it. If he does score, I'll be tight. But we're at 8 o'clock, boys. I'll do one more run through the EV screen. We'll see if we find a last minute anytime, or not anytime, just anything worth betting. If there's EV moving, then we'll call it a day here, and I'll run through the bets one more time. So one last look here. I can't spell. Start back up top. Sorry. Seattle. Okay. Mumfield is under, still there. Mumfield again, Ferguson again. Shahid under at 105 is actually pretty interesting. 139 Novik, 108 Penny. We already have a good bet of unders here, but I mean, this actually could just be worth betting, honestly. Rashid Shaheed, receiving yards, 35.5. I mean, DK's up at 36.5. That's minus 111. Same price as Penny. I just went to 125. I think this is worth betting. I'm betting this quickly. Uh, I'm logged out of MGM. I got to log back in, but I'm actually betting the Shaheed under at 35.5. Last minute ad, 2.9% EV, so not a ton. None of our players have a ton of EV, but all do have EV, which is, of course, the name of the game here. But receiving yards, 35.5 for Shaheed, plus 105. I don't know what the weather situation is. We've heard a lot of, again, mixed reports all day long, but obviously Shaheed's got that breakaway speed and he's getting a lot more acclimated to the Seattle offense, but there it is. So Shaheed under. We have this Puka, and then that's that for that. So last run through of the bets for today, and we'll get right to it. We have Shaheed under receiving yards, Davis Allen anytime, FD Lay, Warner under receptions, Sharp under rushing yards, Puka under receptions, Colby Parkinson for the jackpot, Walker first touchdown with a DK boost, Ferguson first touchdown, DK boost under first quarter receiving yards, JSN and Puka. Straight bets, Barner under 3.5 receptions, Puka under 7.5 receptions. So, boys, we're rooting for chaos here. This game ends up being a slug over fest as long as Terrence Ferguson scores the first, Colby Parkinson scores the last, and Davis Allen gets in at any time or Kyron. Then we could be in a good spot. So that's a wrap, boys. That's a wrap. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. Again, I don't know if I'll go live tomorrow for Saturday or go live Saturday before the games. That is a TBD, but of course, want to get a stream for the game. Good luck to you too, B-Rad. Good luck in fantasy as well. Any playoff guys for today. Sunday stream 10:30 as always. And I'll put out a post on Twitter and on YouTube if I'm streaming that day to let you know if it's happening Friday or Saturday. But I definitely want to get a stream in for these Saturday games. So, boys, good luck. May the winners be yours. May the winners you're putting. I'll see you guys tomorrow or Saturday and definitely Sunday. Have a good one, boys.